When you think about a student's day, you probably think about classes, homework, maybe lunchtime. But what about all the invisible things? The quality of the air they're breathing, the intensity of the sun overhead. These things have a huge impact on their health, their focus, everything. Today, we're going to talk about how to make those invisible factors visible and way, way more manageable. It all boils down to a super simple question, right? One that every teacher, parent, and student has asked. Is it safe for sports today? It seems easy, but getting the right answer means understanding a whole world of environmental data that's all around us, but we can't see. So, how do you make the right call?
Yeah, these aren't just little annoyances. We're talking about real daily risks, tiny PM 2.5 dust particles that can affect your breathing, invisible UV rays that have long-term health effects, and of course, extreme heat that can just zap your energy and make it impossible to concentrate. These are all happening right there on school grounds.
So, we try to be informed, right? We look up the data. And what do we get? A bunch of numbers thrown at us. The air quality index is 87. The UV index is a 9. Okay, it sounds official and all, but for most of us, what are we supposed to do with that? It's just information without any clear meaning. It's just noise. This right here just nails it. This is the heart of the problem. You shouldn't have to be a climate scientist to make a simple daily decision. All you need to know is whether it's safe for a 12-year-old to go run around outside. There's this massive gap between all that complicated data and the simple, clear advice that schools really, really need. So, what if you didn't have to translate those numbers yourself? What if you had a smart assistant that just did it for you? That's exactly the idea here. We're talking about tools that are designed to be your personal climate advisor, turning all those confusing numbers into clear advice you can actually use in a split second. And the way it works is honestly so simple. First, a tool like kodo.co.in uses hyperlocal data to check the live conditions right at your school. Then, and this is the best part, instead of giving you charts, it answers the real questions that students are actually asking. And finally, it just boils everything down to one easy-to-understand score and tells you what to do next. It's that simple. Okay, so that's how it works. But now let's talk about what happens when you actually put this into action. Because when you can turn that raw data into smart decisions, a quick 10-second check in the morning can make a huge difference for the health and safety of the entire school. And just look at the kinds of questions it answers. This is so much more than a weather app. This connects the data to every part of school life. It's about your health, like, do I need a mask today? It's about how you feel in class. Will the heat make me tired? It even helps with school projects, like, is today a good day to plant trees? It makes the data truly relevant. And this is exactly what it looks like in the real world. This isn't just a theory. Check out this story about Ria in Kochi. She sees a simple warning, UV high. She tells her teacher, they make a quick change to the schedule, and the result? No sunstroke that week. That's the real power of having data you can actually act on. It's amazing. But the impact is way bigger than just one student making one smart choice. When this kind of awareness becomes part of the school culture, it creates this incredible ripple effect that helps out everyone, from the kids on the playground all the way up to the principal. Let's just break it down real quick. For students, it's not just about health. They're learning about data, which is a huge skill for the future, and they're getting a say in their own environment. For teachers, it means they can make objective, data-backed decisions. And for the principal, well, it's a fantastic way to manage risk and show that the school is truly focused on student well-being. So, how do you track all this? How do you know if you're making progress? Well, you give it a number. That's what the green score is all about. It's a simple rating from 0 to 100 that tells you, at a glance, just how healthy your campus environment is. It makes the invisible totally visible and easy to track. And that green score, that single number unlocks something even more powerful. Because once you can measure something, you can start to improve it. This whole thing shifts the student mindset from just reacting to bad air days to proactively creating a healthier school for everyone. And this is the game changer right here. The conversation totally flips. It goes from, let's move sports inside today, to, hey, what if we plant more trees so we can improve our green score for good? It's the difference between playing defense and playing offense. It's about empowering students to become problem solvers. And the tools to do it are built right in. Students can literally connect with tree planting projects. They can watch their green score get better week by week as their work pays off, and they can even get AI advice on the best days to plant. It's not just about awareness, it's about turning that awareness into real action. When you get right down to it, it all comes back to this one powerful idea. With huge challenges like climate change, it's so easy to feel kind of helpless. But what this quote reminds us is that having clear, understandable data, well, that's a form of power. And when you give that power to students, you give them the ability to make a real difference starting right now in their own backyard. So, I guess that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. We've just seen how making data simple can help students avoid sunstroke and literally clean up the air on their campus. If we can put that kind of power in their hands, just take a second and imagine, what else could this next generation achieve?